Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, giving us the rundown from the sideline courtside, David Aldridge. Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. Andrew Nembhard is out there with the Cobra, and it's Mathurin in at the 3. And looking at the Nets, the guard pair, Schroeder and Thomas. Whitehead out there with Vaughn, and it's Duren in at the center, locking down the middle. And with a few games in the books, Greg, what's the key for coaches during this part of the season?
Hey, Kevin, if I were a head coach, I'd be trying to nail down my best 5. NBA games are mostly decided in that final 3 or 4 minutes, so I want to know who I can trust when it matters most.
And the Pacers start off with the ball. Here's the Cobra, coming off a solid outing against Cleveland. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And the first of many to come. Explosive offensive talent on both sides.
And that's the story of the league right now. Most any team can beat any other team on any given night.
So the Indiana Pacers able to put the first points up on the board. Here's Thomas, and it's sent back by Turner. Pass to the Cobra. Turner gets the screen from Parham. That one's in, his first shot this game.
Miles Turner covered tightly, but nonetheless scores it. That is really well done.
Twitter passes to Vaughn. Here's Thomas, and then Thomas with the dunk.
Oh, that kind of defense, it's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well, for the most part, they were just standing still. And you've got an easy 2 points.
Yeah, and despite his restrictions offensively, you still have to close off the lane or he'll burn you.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Well, Doris, before he started playing basketball, Siakam was on the path to priesthood. And there are a lot of GMs in the NBA saying, amen, that he chose basketball.
Kevin, this young man actually attended a seminary and didn't pick up a basketball until he was 16. But even with that, he's built himself into an all-star and a champion. An incredible journey.
The Pacers shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
And he can't hit the second. For Brooklyn, they've gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Thomas got his second bucket tonight.
Quick job of getting up the floor and creating early offense.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
Here's the Cobra. Lays it up off the glass. Parham's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Boy, 4 for 4 to get things started. Must have been a good shoot-around this morning.
Now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Jordi Fernandez.
We talked about Benedict Mathurin, their confident wing. The coach said guarding Mathurin is a challenge. He's got that it factor. We've told our guys who are defending him, you have to try to match his intensity. He'll eat you alive. Checking Benedict Mathurin, never an easy assignment. Kevin?
Thank you, David.
Well, for Cam Thomas, obviously, the whole conversation about why he's in the league is his scoring ability. And I think the next step for him, he's got to start to be able to play make for his teammates.
And the Nets making a change here. Johnson's checked in. We'd like to take this moment to show you the teams that a year ago made a trademark of scoring points off turnovers. Number 1, the Pacers.
Yeah, I mean, the best in the league at forcing those miscues and then capitalizing at the other end. Their defense led to their offense.
Both free throws good from Parham. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Rear kicks to Thomas. Puts it up from 15. And again, it's the Nets missing.
Well, certainly not the best defensive effort, but this guy can't make them pay for their laziness.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Now, here's Johnson. Pass to Duran. And Duran slams it in.
That is not possible. What we just... Is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. On our AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you just saw an explosive highlight. Brooklyn trailing. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Williams, he's checked in for Vaughn. Jordan Clarkson comes in for Thomas. And it's Wennington in for Dennis Schroeder. And a change for the Pacers. Toppin, he's checked in for the Cobra. A shot by Clarkson, no good. For Indiana, they've gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Captain Emhard launches a 3. Indiana again missing. The Nets have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. And Duran slams it in.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. Now, here's Siakam. No scoring in this one. Shot from 16, and he hits the jump shot.
Now this guy continues to build his offensive skill set. Pascal Siakam with the mid-range jumper.
Pass to Duran. Here's Wennington. Releases. Kept alive. Another shot. Kicks it out to Johnson. Here's Wennington. Emhard covering. Fires from deep. Out of bounds. Indiana takes possession. Here's Siakam. Fires the 3. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Pacers out in front, up 2. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And let's quickly break down the game, guys, we have seen from Indiana. What do you think?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
On the court right now for the Pacers. Got Siakam, the Cobra out there with Nembhard. Then there's Toppin, and it's Mathurin in at the 3 slot. Nets shooting for the game at 42%. Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. The Cobra in the last game against the Cavaliers was all business. He finished with 52 points and was a force on defense, knocking away shots every second he was on the floor. A fantastic performance from him, something he wants to repeat tonight. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Yeah, it was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy.
Yeah, the catalyst for that win, it was an effort that I'm sure he's hoping to replicate tonight.
Well, there's no doubt. He certainly looked like he was enjoying himself in that last game. He had his offense flowing.
And Greg, you talk about toughness, a compete factor. How does a team create that culture?
Call it critical mass. When you have the entire organization and enough players committed to that kind of effort, everyone has to meet that level.
Rebound by Johnson. Last outing for Indiana. They won that game against the Cavaliers. Here's Williams. Siakam pulls it in.
I think he's got to settle down because right now it feels like he's rushing, like he's forcing some shots. This quarter he has been completely bothered.
Nembhard with it. Claxton covering to the middle. A nice shot by the Cobra. Parham's got 14 points for the game.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Whitehead deciding where to go with it. Lakic, Nembhard covering, clock at 4. Pascal Siakam grabs the miss. Pacers leading by 3. Here's Parham into the lane. Here's Mathurin. Excellent D there from Williams. And it's Williams with the ball for Brooklyn. Coming into this having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
And the focus. Was to get stops. All game they were right up on shooters, and that led to some big-time rejection.
The best defenses do a great job of protecting the rim. That team did not give an inch. They defended and contested every shot.
Ooh, he put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously he can when necessary, but not that time. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Miles Turner, he's checked in for topping. Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. And you look at the Cobra, leading the league in points per game. Such a great player.
And he's not going to forget that season anytime soon. And it's safe to say neither will anyone who watched him.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. Tries again, and that one's good. Schroeder's got his first basket of the night.
That's about willpower for Dennis Schroeder. Great job out hustling guys on the offensive glass.
Siakam outside. Here's the Cobra. Thomas covering. Count it, good. And that's 18 points for the Cobra.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Schroeder looking around. Outside Thomas. Off on the layup. Pacers leading by 3. Down low. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
And hammering down the 2-hand slam. Schroeder passes to Thomas. Banked in off the glass. Thomas got 8 points.
That's agility and touch. Cam Thomas gets that to fall inside.
Here's Parham. Rebounded by the Nets. This their first chance this season playing the Pacers. Ball's knocked loose. Pass to Vaughn. Thomas with the ball from downtown. Down it goes. That's 4 made from the field. He's 4. Of 8.
Never shy about letting it fly. Cam Thomas, folks.
Here's Parham. 2 points. That one goes. Parham's got 22 points.
And started hot, and he's only gotten harder.
The Nets have gone 6 of 12 in the second quarter, right at the 50% mark from the field. Thomas. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. For Brooklyn, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
And the Nets making a change here. Whitehead's checked in.
You can tell when he steps to the line the kind of confidence he has in himself. It's written all over his body language.
And the layup's good off the glass. He's got 24.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Thomas, it's a wide open look. Hits the three-point bomb. Thomas got the lead up to 1 now for the Nets.
When Cam Thomas gets going, folks, he can get as hot as anyone in this league.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Nets lead by 1. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
Thanks for stopping by, y'all. First up on the show tonight, a quick look ahead of some upcoming games on the docket.
You know, right now for the Nets, you expect this game to go down to the wire, and if it does, it'll be good for the coaches to see who performs well late in a tight game.
Invaluable information, no doubt. And when we look at the first half for the Nets, a close contest so far.
The energy in their hometown is electric, man. You can tell these players are loving the positive attitudes and feeding off them. I expect them to sustain this enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean, these fans just love this team. And that about wraps it up. And as the third quarter is about to begin, we go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. We're seeing a tremendous game here from the Cobra.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
Lynette shooting at a decent 44% clip here. The guard pair, Schroeder and Thomas. Vaughn is out there with Durham. And it's Whitehead in at the small forward. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Cam Thomas was the 27th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft. GA. I think a lot of teams, wouldn't you agree, are regretting passing on him.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe that he fell all the way to the end of the first round. Lots of teams would love to have a scorer like him on their roster.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, the Brooklyn Nets wasted no time hiring their next coach, Jordi Fernandez, shortly after the conclusion of last season. Despite his youth, Fernandez has been on the rise after stops as an assistant with the Kings, Nuggets, and Cavs, as well as coaching the Canadian national team. Kevin?
No, D.A., we've been talking about Jordi Fernandez for a long time. Now his big break, and I'm very happy. I know we all are for Coach Fernandez. Hey, David, thank you. And so it's Schroeder with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Nets. It's a one-point game. Back to Thomas. No good from outside. The Pacers shooting 64%. Beautiful all-around play by this offense.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Now here's Schroeder. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. DB thinking about... Cam Thomas. When he gets on a roll, he is tough to stop.
Kevin, he reminds me a little bit of the microwave Vinnie Johnson back in the days of Detroit. When this guy is hot, get out of his way and let him do his thing.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
Boy, the missed free throw there keeping this game at even. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them.
Here's the Cobra. He's guarded by Thomas. The Cobra's shot is off. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Cam Thomas, and that's good. Thomas got 7 now in this quarter.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc. And let's take a look at the numbers for Siakam. Last season, he played outstanding. Averaged 17 points a game, 7 rebounds and 4 assists. And he gives them a nice rotation on the front court. He is a quality reserve.
Well, the one thing you can't teach is size. He's not as developed skill-wise as some guys, but certainly a valuable backup for this team.
Missed inside. Brooklyn's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. Back to Thomas. Knocked away. Missed number 7 from the field. He's also made 7. Indiana moving it around. A nice shot by the Cobra. This game has a lot of character here in the third period. 6 changes of the lead here.
Intensity is the theme for this one.
From deep, Thomas. The Cobra with the rebound. Parham's got 5 rebounds tonight. Inside. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Now it's a 3-point Pacer lead.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
No, I think that's the one thing every player is searching for. Consistency. They're giving this guy a chance to carry the offense once again.
Now, here's Siakam. Pass to the Cobra. Now, Nembhard drills the three-pointer. Nembhard's got the lead up to 6 now for the Pacers.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And Jordy Fernandez has called a timeout. He wants to talk to his guys.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
Well, poor rotations, poor communication. There's a lot to figure out right now.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Johnson comes in for Dennis Schroeder, and it's Williams in for Thomas. Pass to Vaughn. To the right side. And it's sent back by Turner.
I'll tell you, you love the attitude of Miles Turner. No one is getting off these shots when he's nearby. No one.
1:52 left in the third quarter. Shots good by Whitehead.
This guy a tough cover for any defender. Creative and assertive scoring the ball.
Now Nembhard to the inside. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
Whitehead passes to Williams. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Clock at 6. Pass to Duran. Here's Vaughn. On the wing, Williams. Johnson kicks to Vaughn. That 3 off the mark. Siakam passes to Parham, and he jams it with authority.
Boy, Pascal Siakam, much improved as a playmaker. He can score it or create shots for others.
51 seconds left in the third quarter. Johnson down low, defended by Mathurin. And too much time in the lane, they get called for the 3-second violation.
And to make that mistake at this time is tough to come back from.
These are the kinds of plays that can be game changers, that can make you hang your head.
The Cobras' shot is off. Nets trail by 8. Johnson with it. Mathurin picks him up. Johnson, good.
Well, that possession to me highlights the importance of creating for your teammates.
Here's Parham. Here he goes. Back to Turner. Turner with a screen for Siakam. Here's the Cobra. He's got 39. Good defense by Claxton. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. Indiana out in front. They lead. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
He's got the size to survey over the top of the defense and find the open man. That was beautiful.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. Siakam is the 4, and he'll be next to Turner at the 5. Andrew Nembhard is out there with the Cobra. And it's Mathurin in at the small forward position. Here's Parham. And he banks in the layup. Parham's got 41.
Well, they're just riding the hot hand down the stretch, and he's been in a zone all night.
Now, here's Clarkson. Johnson outside. Back to Clarkson. Sinks that one from the post.
Oh, slick move by Clarkson, getting around that inside contact to finish the shot.
Here's Parham. Excellent D there from Williams. Nets trail by 6. Knocked loose. And up the court come the Pacers on the break. Here's Parham. Clowney pulls it in. Net shooting about 42% so far. Williams with the ball. Now guarded by Siakam. Williams passes to Clarkson. Here's Clowney. 6 to shoot. Off target from three-point range.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And it's good, 2 points.
Well, all night he has made an impact at the offensive end. Now he's trying to shut the door.
Outside Williams. Pass to Clarkson. Back to Williams. To the paint. One-on-one fast break. Here's Nembhard. The shot's good. And it's a 10-point Pacer lead. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Pacers.
I like their defense tonight, and we don't talk about that side of the ball enough. You can really change a game when you get a bunch of steals and get out in transition.
And you also have to love the way they've gotten out and run in transition. A ton of good chances tonight simply from being willing to run the floor.
And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. You got for us, GA?
Well, during the break, listened in with what Jordan Fernandez was telling the team. He said in the huddle, you got to play some defense in the paint. They're getting too much in there. Battle down low. Time to fight, guys.
All right, David, thanks. Indiana leading by 8. Here's Parham. Siakam outside. Schroeder outside from deep. Thomas. The Pacers pull it in. Nembhard's got his 4th rebound in this one. Pass to the Cobra. Indiana moving it around. Mathurin for 3. Brooklyn with the rebound. Thomas got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And the foul called on the Cobra. That will be foul number 5 on him. 15. Here's Thomas. And he makes good on the layup. Thomas got 4 points now in the quarter.
Cam Thomas is not the guy you want to open a lane to the rim because he will seize on that opportunity. You know, he's flat fueling their success. Most of the offense has gone through him.
And so it's Brooklyn with it, trailing here by 8. From deep, Thomas. And it's Mathurin with the rebound.
Simply put, a bad shot, guys. They all know they can get a better look than that.
Barham, outside Mathurin. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Brooklyn's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. It's stolen by Mathurin. To the middle. Here's Parham. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
The free throw off from Parham. Next trail by 10. Here's Thomas. During the pass to Thomas. Mathurin with some nice defense. Pass to Schroeder. Just 5 to shoot. At the teardrop, here's Vaughn. The shot's good, and the assist by Schroeder.
Well, coaches love seeing this from Dennis Schroeder. Recognize the situation, find the open teammate.
Here's Parham. Vaughn with the rebound. And Schroeder's got the ball here for Brooklyn. 7-point differential. Thomas outside. Pacers with the rebound.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
Teardrop shot, and he lays it up and in. 49 points for the Cobra.
Well, that's a nice play. You've got to read the situation and go to your floater game when necessary.
The good news, though, is they've already got the win wrapped up. You might as well sit back and enjoy this one.
So it's Indiana picking up the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see